winter weather strikes, turn to Wave 3 News. Wave 3 News goes on the air early to bring you up-to-the-minute school and business closings and continues to give you the information you need throughout the day. Severe weather can play havoc with your life unless you're prepared. Wave 3 News has the people, the equipment, and the experience to keep you informed of winter weather in Wave Country. Whether you're trying to get to work or sending the kids off to school, turn to the best when the weather's at its worst. Wave 3 News, where coverage comes first.
Finally, the weekend you've been waiting for. This Saturday night, the Louisville River Frogs return from the road battles. This Saturday night, Gorski, Seymour, Rowland, and the boys look to jump all over those Peoria Riverbeds. 7:05 p.m. The Frogs are back Saturday night, and so is the Lexus Shootout. Stop by Lexus of Louisville to see how you can win a brand new Lexus. We're jamming the whole week's worth of fun into one big night this Saturday. River Frogs hockey. Cause we're getting rapid. She getting swampy. Bye, Ben.
Turn to the best when winter weather's at its worst. As a public service, Wave 3 presents a repeat broadcast of Wave 3 News Nightcast from earlier this evening.
Tonight on Wave 3 News, we now know the identity of these human bones 4 days after they turned up in Oldham County.
Plus, an exclusive follow-up to tonight's Dateline report. What are the most deadly roads in Wave Country?
But first, a Louisville man is missing tonight after his plane disappears from radar. Good evening, I'm Angela Martinez.
And I'm Scott Reynolds. Family and friends of a Louisville pilot are waiting for word tonight of his whereabouts. Mike Temple's single-engine plane was on its way to Louisville from Milwaukee Thursday morning when it disappeared over Lake Michigan near Lake Bluff, Illinois. Temple was with another pilot, Todd Larson of Shelbyville, Illinois. Wave 3's Connie Leonard has the very latest.
You're really at a loss. You really don't know what to think. You don't know what to feel. You don't know what to say that's going to be comforting.
Tim Winters is talking about the wait for news of his lifelong friend and neighbor, Mike Temple. Mike was last seen in a single-engine Cessna yesterday morning as he left Milwaukee for Louisville. It's a two-seater, much like this one. 20 minutes after takeoff, the plane disappeared from radar. Mike is a graduate of Trinity High and Western Kentucky University. When he was here, he played football, ran track, and made the honor roll. Now, the 27-year-old is also a good friend to many.
Mike's always been kind of a little daredevil. I remember he always used to come down the street. He had a motorbike, and he always had that, that little extra glare in his eye that you can tell, there was something special about him.
Mike was with 29-year-old Todd Larson. The two work for Prompt Air 700. They were bringing a shipment of canceled checks for banks back to Louisville. Larson is from Shelbyville, Illinois, but had an apartment in Louisville. He has several friends here who got worried when the plane was late.
When the calls started coming in, when flight service was calling, and his company called once, was wondering if he was here, and we told him no. And that was unusual because we did miss him because he would always come up here and talk to us.
Now, rain and fog held off the search yesterday. Today, the problem was snow. Now, we got a report earlier tonight that a plane had been found in Illinois, but the Coast Guard says there's no way they can confirm that report right now. They say the search will resume in the morning. Scott?
All right, Connie Leonard reporting live tonight from our newsroom. A girl was hit by a pickup truck on Greenbelt Highway in Louisville this morning. She remains hospitalized tonight in serious condition. The girl's name and age not yet released. The man driving the truck had a green light, and police say he will not face any charges.
Usually when you hear about accidents on the highways, it's motorists and their passengers who are at risk. Dateline NBC reported just tonight on the danger of driving on two-lane roads. But what about roads here in Wave Country? Well, statistics show the 10 deadliest roads locally are state and U.S. routes and interstates, like I-65, which you can see here live from our exclusive tower cam. Wave 3's Andrea Stevenson has more on this story from Payne Street overlooking the deadliest local road, Interstate 64. Andrea?
Well, Angela, anymore when you come out here on the highways, it is an achievement just to arrive to your destination alive. And with the roads becoming more congested every day, police say it is time motorists start treating driving like it is a matter of life and death. They are more like racetracks than roadways. Police say the majority of drivers exceed speed limits. throw in alcohol, inexperience, and driver inattention, and the number of fatalities in wave country is rising at an alarming rate.
So far, going into 2 months, we've already got 10 fatals. This time last year, we had 3 approximately. So it's definitely going to be probably another one of the years we have a lot of fatals.
Police guess around 80% of all wrecks stem from driver error, but some fatal accidents can be attributed to poor road design and maintenance. Often on-ramps like Spaghetti Junction, blind curves, and narrow 2-lane roads, where 100 people die a day nationwide. There are many factors that make roads dangerous, but police officers say the number one reason is probably volume of traffic. Overcrowding is to blame for the highest number of fatal wrecks. Statistically, the 3 deadliest roadways in wave country are in Jefferson County. Between 1987 and 1995, I-64 recorded 74 fatal accidents. Dixie Highway 71, and on Interstate 65, 64 people died.
We've had quite a few with alcohol involvement. The last 4 we have been teens from 21 years old down. That's been involved in accidents, so it comes back to inexperience. A lot of it's been contributed to high rate of speed.
Now, until last July, Kentucky had no formal driver education laws, but with a new graduated licensing program, they hope to inspire new drivers to become more conscientious drivers, a new generation of conscientious drivers.
All right, thank you, Andrea. Andrea Stevenson tonight. Well, if you travel the roads in Jefferson County, chances are you're using an aging bridge system. Monday night at 6, the Wave 3 News I-Team uncovers dozens of Jefferson County bridges that are rated substandard. That means they are in desperate need of repair. Who uses these bridges, and are they still safe to travel? Well, find out Monday at 6 in a Wave 3 News I-Team investigation, State of Disrepair.
Employees of local trucking firms are concerned about their jobs following the sale of Ford's heavy truck division. Ford says all of its workers are safe, but that doesn't hold true for subcontractors, like Louisville-based Active Transportation. The company transports all heavy trucks built by Ford here in Louisville, but by the end of the year, there won't be any more trucks to deliver. The company's CEO says layoffs are probable, but some workers may be transferred. Active Transportation could lose $30 million in business because of that Ford sale.
Got just a little bit of rain in the area tonight. Much more on the way, John.
Well, it looks like it's about over. We have a little drizzle out here right now. Let's check the radar here, and pretty much light. That's all it's showing up. Heavier thunder showers moving across southeastern Kentucky right now. And this drizzle, light rain activity should be ending within the next couple of hours or so. And the temperatures are beginning to drop around the area now. We were in the 60s earlier, and we're now down to 47, 39 over at Evansville. It's back to wintertime for the weekend. The forecast coming up later.
Drop or maybe plummet, we should say.
Either word would work, I guess.
Okay, thanks, John.
Thank you, John. Oldham County authorities have identified human remains found Monday along Interstate 71. Investigators recovered the remains of 37-year-old Dennis Ross Tuesday morning. He was reported missing last May. His bones show no signs of trauma. A state anthropologist used X-ray records to positively identify Ross, but no cause of death was determined.
For the second time in 3.5 years, a family in West Louisville is dealing with the harsh reality of violence. Janet Russian lost a son to gunfire back in 1993. Last night, another son, 16-year-old Michael Russian, and his 14-year-old stepsister, Tasha Smith, were shot on River Park Drive. Michael's mother says he's been in and out of trouble since his brother was gunned down.
I know some kids are neglected, but my child wasn't. He was brought up right, and a lot of other kids are. But you know, you got peer pressure and everything else out here, so, and you got all the drugs and everything going around, so, you know, what can you do?
Michael Russian was shot in the chest, Tasha in the shoulder. They're both listed in good condition tonight at University Hospital. It took 3 days, but a jury is finally in place for the Chris Ballou murder trial. Opening arguments start Tuesday morning. Ballou is accused of raping and murdering Myra Stelbosky in April of 1995. A 12-person jury with 5 alternates was sworn in late last night.
An 83-year-old Jeffersonville man is one of the oldest people in Indiana ever sentenced to prison. Warren Gutermuth pled guilty last month to molesting 3 children. He was sentenced today to 24 years behind bars. Deputy Prosecutor Denise Schaefer says this sentence sends a very strong message.
This man has been a predator pedophile for many years. He's finally stopped, and he won't harm any more children, so I'm very happy with the sentence today.
Gutermuth has already served 1 year in jail. He will not be eligible for parole until he is 93 years old. His attorney may request a sentence change in a couple of years. New information out today makes a strong case for more and longer treatment for Kentucky sex offenders. The study shows criminals who do not receive treatment are 2 to 3 times more likely to commit the same crimes again. Dan Dunn has been in a counseling program for 3 years now. He hopes shame will keep him from reoffending.
The rape that I committed and the remorse that I feel for my victim and her family will help me not to reoffend.
The problem is the treatment program is voluntary, and only 19% of all Kentucky sex offenders get counseling. Those who conducted this study want new laws requiring sex offenders to seek treatment after they leave prison.
New information in the case of a convicted rapist who's now being held on murder charges. Police in Tampa say Lawrence Singleton stabbed to death a 31-year-old woman 2 nights ago. Now the sheriff admits it took his department more than 30 minutes to respond to the scene. The sheriff says a shift change and rush hour slowed down the response time. A man in Houston is serving a shameful sentence for the crime he committed in court. A judge is making him walk in front of the courthouse 5 hours a day for 7 days, publicly declaring what he did.
My lie was I told him that I had insurance and I did not.
This is not the first time the judge has handed out an imaginative sentence. 2 months ago, he forced a drunk driver to hang pictures of his victims in his jail cell.
Still to come on Nightcast, we'll preview this Sunday's showing of Schindler's List on NBC and meet a man who survived the concentration camps himself.
And then after sports, find out why the race to the altar began for these women at a Boston department store. But first, here's a look at the rest of the 10 deadliest roads in wave country between 1987 and 1995. The number of fatalities is shown to the right of the road marker. The Fatal Accident Reporting System provided these statistics.
Wave 3 News is brought to you by Baptist Hospital East, pioneers in the treatment of vascular disease.
A month ago, Sam hit into that same trap. Then the pain hit him. His doctor diagnosed a clogged leg artery and sent him to Baptist Hospital East, pioneers in the treatment of vascular disease. Because Sam qualified for a new minimally invasive procedure, his artery was repaired without major surgery. Today, Sam doesn't have any pain, at least not in his leg. For information about new treatments for vascular disease, call Baptist East.
At Sam Swope Honda, lease a loaded 97 Honda Accord with 0 down and only $189 a month. We stand behind our cars with 24-hour parts and service. Come in today to Sam Swope Honda in the Swope Discount Auto Center, I-64 in Hirschburn. Nobody walks away.
How do you like your pizza? If you like it thin, there's Domino's Crunchy Thin Crust. Baked light and crispy so the full flavor of all the toppings comes through. It's made to order and delivered hot and fresh right to your front door. Domino's Crunchy Thin Crust Pizza.
Ooh, Domino's. Wow, now!
Call now and get 2 medium crunchy thin crust pizzas, each with your favorite topping for just $9.99. That's 2 medium thin crust pizzas for $9.99, only at Domino's.
At Sam Swope Mitsubishi, you save thousands with invoice pricing, 0% APR factory financing, and 0 down. Plus, make no payments for 90 days. Hurry to Sam Swope Mitsubishi in the Swope Discount Auto Center, I-64 in Hirschburn. Nobody walks away.
When was the last time you got a guarantee from a president? Well, at Big O Tires, you can get guaranteed trade-in during our spectacular President's Week sale. Get up to $35 guaranteed trade-in on a set of 4 premium Big O brand tires backed by the unbeatable Big O warranty. Cash in on great wheel deals and major brand tires starting at just $39.95. But hurry, after Saturday, this President's sale is history.
Need a new muffler? Well, unless you drive one of these, Dad's can do it. Call Dad's Muffler Shop, where there's no muff too tough.
You're watching Wave 3 News Nightcast with Scott Reynolds, Angela Martinez, meteorologist John Belsky, and Bob Dominy Sports. Wave 3 News, where coverage comes first.
2 Tennessee men have been arrested in Louisville and charged with a credit card scam. The men worked for New Beginning Credit Association out of Nashville. Reportedly, the company mailed letters to Kentuckians offering a credit card. But when consumers met to pick up those cards, they were told they would have to join New Beginning's credit repair program at an $1,100 cost. Investigators say that violates Kentucky's law prohibiting advance fees for loans.
The law states that you cannot get advance fee for loans, and that's all a credit card is. This is a Class C felony, and they could get up to 10 years in the penitentiary.
The arrests were made at the Brownsboro Ramada by members of the Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division. A local roofer has been indicted for ripping off Louisville homeowners. Kentucky's Attorney General charged John Miller with 4 counts of theft. Investigators say Miller took more than $7,000 from homeowners to repair their roofs, but he never did any of the work.
And this Sunday night on Wave 3, you can see the movie Schindler's List in its entirety without commercial interruption. And after the world broadcast premiere, Wave 3 News will introduce you to an extraordinary man who survived the death camps. We'll join Ernie Marks as he escorts Louisville school children to the National Holocaust Museum in Washington. Hitler's Nazi regime wiped out most of Marks's family.
And you know how my mother survived? She had a stroke when they were loading them up in boxcars, and they left her for dead.
And now Marx's mission is to teach children they have the power to replace hate with tolerance.
Evil is evil, and you are the ones that can prevent the evil.
Please join Wave 3 News reporter Kelly Burkeen for a survivor's story. That is Sunday night at 11 o'clock right here on Wave 3 News Nightcast. That's right after a special commercial-free broadcast of Steven Spielberg's Schindler's List, and that begins at 7:30 on Sunday.
No commercials, but there will be 2 intermissions, I'm told.
Well, you're going to have to get
Right.
up. It's a long show.
3.5 hours.
Yeah.
Right. Well, the weekend is finally upon us, but don't expect warm weather, sorry to say. John Belsky joins us next to tell us more about some changes in the temperature.
Okay, and we'll also show you the devastating way Mother Nature is leaving her mark on some other parts of the country.
Say hello to the Dodge Neon Coupe. And for a limited time, say hello to the Neon Coupe $169 a month lease. Our way of making it easier for you to discover the surprising roominess of Neon's cab-forward design and the punch of a 132 horsepower engine. With all those horses, the Neon Coupe can move quite quickly. But with a $169 a month lease, just imagine how fast it'll go. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
When a mysterious discovery was made in Oldham County, Wave 3 News brought you an exclusive live report from the scene.
The remains were found about 50 feet off the road here.
Plus, troubleshooter Nell Taylor was first to investigate a fantasy vacation scam in Wave Country. For exclusive coverage and investigative reports, turn to Wave 3 News, where coverage comes first.
It's Carl Casper's 36th Annual Custom Auto Show, featuring cars of the NASCAR superstars Dale Earnhardt and Rusty Wallace. Action-packed lowrider hopping competition. Baywatch and Playboy sensation Donna D'Errico. Country music's romantic hard country star Doug Stone. Days of Our Lives soap super hunk Austin Peck. Star Trek's Klingon plus Truckin' USA and the Smoothster. All in the greatest custom auto show ever. And it's all happening this weekend at the fairgrounds.
An I-Team investigation. Many Kentucky bridges are unsafe and desperately in need of work. A special report you must see before you travel in the bluegrass state of disrepair. Monday at 6.
Could anything be more important than finding quality care for your family's eyes? Mall & Associates Eye Care Centers are this region's only source for all the specialties dedicated to the care your family deserves. From routine eye care to highly specialized procedures, the Mall & Associates location near you is committed to providing quality care and the convenience of same-day appointments. Mall & Associates Eye Care Centers. Excellence you can see.
The man's a thief. A thief who witnessed a murder.
Absolute Power is the first must-see movie of 1997.
You know who did it, don't you?
So will you. Clint Eastwood. Absolute Power. Rated R. Now playing in theaters everywhere.
Turn to the best when the weather's at its worst. John Belsky, Tom Wills, and Craig Edwards. Storm Center 3 on Wave 3 News, where coverage comes first.
Nasty weather is plaguing the nation's midsection. Intense winds tore through parts of Louisiana and Mississippi, demolishing signs and flipping trucks and trailers. A rescue attempt in Iowa was aborted when crews were unable to reach a man trapped in his cabin by floodwaters. He says he has enough food and supplies to last several days. And in Kansas City, heavy rain turned to snow this afternoon, causing delays and accidents galore. Up to 5 inches were expected in parts of Missouri by tonight.
And it wasn't the rain, but the wind tonight that I noticed. I was out covering a story in LaGrange, and John, coming back on 71, it was both hands on the wheel. It felt like 40-mile-an-hour winds.
And that's exactly what we had here earlier this evening, Scott. And it's that time of year. Anything goes. I mean, you get all types of weather. The winds, well, still blowing a bit out here tonight, beginning to die on this big tree in the corner with the leaves on. I mean, this thing was blowing like crazy during the commercial break. It's died down just a little bit now, but the winds will remain pretty gusty the rest of the night. Okay, Friday night, that's when we talk skiing and car racing. Here is the ski report first. Paoli, 28 to 40-inch base, 20 to 30 at Butler. Ski World is temporarily closed. Perfect North Slopes is open. We don't know what their base is. Now, as far as the big race this weekend, the Goodwrench 500 at Rockingham on Sunday. Hey, it's going to be cool. Look at that. Temperatures in the 40s in North Carolina with sunshine. Okay, back home tonight. Skies are cloudy. We have drizzle, light rain. Winds out of the west, 23 to 31. 47 the temperature, which is our low for today. But it was our fourth day of very warm weather earlier. 68 was the high. And we've had a few tree limbs down, a few power outages scattered on both sides of the river, even a little bit of minor structural damage on a few buildings this evening with the winds blowing around. All right, I want to take you to the Weather Center inside here. This is our wind gauge. Current winds running 10 miles per hour. Here's 10, 20, 30, 40. But see this gold needle right here? That's our peak wind gust. Downtown, we had 44-mile-per-hour wind gust earlier on this evening. Well, here's the way the winds are looking around the region right now. 31 mile per hour here, 37 at Cincinnati. That looks like it's the highest wind gust across the region right now. And again, still pretty windy west of us. Like I said, going to stay fairly breezy the rest of the night. Okay, southeast Kentucky. Here's the corner of southeast Kentucky, just east of Harlan at Ages. Thunderstorm winds blew a large tree down into a car earlier today. 2 dead and 1 person injured with that. And I tell you what, this has been a rough week. This monster storm system causing lots of problems, flooding from Texas to Michigan, and in the last 2 days, over 100 reports of wind damage across the southern tier of states. Okay, storm is moving into Canada tonight. The heavier rains pushing out east. Snow is winding down to Chicago. Heavier snow in Michigan right now. And for tomorrow, things will be quieting down. Could see a few flurries early in the day with temperatures in the 30s. The sun is back for Sunday, though. The flurries retreat northward back into northern Indiana. Okay, here's where it shapes up. It's hello winter for the weekend here. Windy, colder, light rain ending, low 38. Temperatures will continue to fall tomorrow very slowly through the 30s with a few flurries around in the morning. And then for Sunday, we're looking at partly sunny skies, cold, high 38. And the first half of next week looks kind of chilly. Temperatures in the upper 30s. Partly sunny skies may warm up a little bit by the middle of the week. You knew this warm weather wasn't going to last. There was always that hope, but realism has set back in tonight.
But nothing like some nice, pretty flurries for a Saturday morning. Wake up, look at them out of the sun.
Wake up and go back to bed.
Yeah.
I like that. Thanks, John.
Sports is next, and there's nothing like Indiana high school basketball.
Well, that's for sure. Hoosier hysteria at its best tonight in New Albany. Bob Dominy has all the highlights and the scores coming up.
Today we are talking with Dr. Ron Paul, Medical Director of the Emergency Department of Corsair Children's Hospital. Dr. Paul, when should a child come to the Corsair Children's Emergency Department?
I think that if the parent feels their child has an emergent or urgent condition, they should bring them to Corsair Children's Emergency Department. However, I do recommend that if at all possible, they contact their physician first to see if the emergency department trip is necessary.
Why should parents choose Corsair Children's Hospital?
Everything we do at Corsair Children's Emergency Department is geared for children.
What kinds of services are provided in the Kids Express area?
We see patients that have minor fractures, ankle sprains, lacerations, medical conditions that might not need the full services of an emergency department.
How can we find out more information about Kids Express or any of the services of Corsair Children's Hospital?
You can call 629-5437.
Dr. Paul, thank you for joining us today.
How do you make a Best Buy better? Start with 88 by Oldsmobile. Well equipped at $23,100. Selected one of the best values of the year. 88 is the only full-size car to earn a Consumer's Digest Best Buy award an unprecedented 7 years in a row. To celebrate, let's make it better. For a limited time, get an additional $1,000 cash savings on 88 by Oldsmobile. A Best Buy made better. See your local Oldsmobile retailer today.
At our 168-hour sale, prices are slashed. Our entire stock is just $1.68.
What's your number gonna be for pick 3? It'll hit ya. Lots of winners every day when you play pick 3 from Kentucky Lottery. Somebody's gonna win. Might as well be you.
You know, Rosie and I talked to a lot of customers here at Carriage Ford, and they tell us that Carriage Ford makes it easy to buy a car.
Oh, they like the friendly service.
And they love the great deals, too.
And tax time is the best time for deals at Carriage Ford. For the whole month of February, Carriage Ford is offering the lowest prices of the year on absolutely every vehicle in stock. Everything must go. Help Carriage Ford beat the tax man. It's the February tax time sale only at Carriage Ford.
That's Carriage Ford.
It's a great place to buy.
Sometimes we talk about basketball here in Kentucky so much, we forget that they're crazy about it in Indiana.
Oh, man, what a great atmosphere at a Super Bowl game tonight in New Albany. Chad Hunter had a chance to become the all-time leading scorer. The Hoosier Hills Conference title was on the line. Hoosier hysteria was blowing the roof off at New Albany as Jennings County visited. The Lady Bulldogs are headed to the Seymour Regional tomorrow morning and got a standing ovation before the game. The boys saluted the ladies with an early show. Hunter right in the middle of the action with the putback, 14 in the first half, one shy of the record. The lead reached 16 as Reggie Wheeler hit the trifecta. Jennings was reeling. But as quickly as the Dogs rose to prominence, so they would fall. Aaron Bales inside for the deuce. Look at that one, huh? Willie Harmon with the steal coming up. He is off to the races like a quarter horse, hits the lay-in. It's one. New Albany led 43-37 at the intermission. The Dogs built the lead to 9 after 3 stops and had the game in hand. But the Panthers would not be denied. Rob Kent, who led Jennings with 30, the steal. Harmon on the other end. Now Hunter finished with 25. This one was the difference. Has the new record for the all-time scoring passing Noy Castillo. But the honor was hollow as Jennings led once all night. But it was the final score, 80-79. Elsewhere in Indiana, Floyd Central with a huge upset at Scottsburg and Clarksville by 10 at the Fort. Jeff trailed throughout and lost at North Central. Third-ranked Pleasure Ridge on the other side of the river rolling past Iroquois. Moore a nipper at Western. Central and Doss battle with the Jackets on top. Valley with the upset of the night bagging a bear. Shawnee takes DeSales to OT and Manuel is gaining some respect, folks. The upset tonight of number 9 Fairdale. Number 6 Pallard got pummeled tonight in the Tiger Den. Seneca with an easy win on the TP. Wagner tips visiting North Bullitt. And Central Hardin wins a big road game at South Oldham. You just saw New Albany's Chad Hunter in action tonight. Well, he is the subject of our weekly feature, the Friday Night Spotlight. 6'6" Mr. Basketball candidate averages 20 points a game for the Bulldogs, 25 tonight. He is being recruited by several schools, including IU and U of L.
I was a big U of L fan when I was younger, and my dad, he's always been a big Indiana fan, so, I've always been pretty familiar with those programs, and they're outstanding programs, and, if I decide to go to one of those schools, hopefully I can fit in very well.
Although IU and U of L may appear to be the leaders in the chase for Hunter, he's also considering Indiana State, Syracuse, and UConn.
Everything's still pretty much wide open for me as far as college, and whenever I get a chance, I want to start evaluating things and listing things out and see if I can take a couple visits here or there. So hopefully I'll be able to decide by the end of the year.
Always been impressed when I talk to him. I like it. Surprising J-Town putting on another charge tonight. These are giddy times for the Lady Chargers as they swept past Bullitt East tonight for their 19th win. A little munchkin, Nokia Weaver with the steal on the lay-in. J-Town way too much inside for East. Brooke Winstead gets the miss and sticks it back. And senior Jocelyn Duke with a baseline jumper, 15th-ranked Jeffersontown, showed they will be a player in the 7th region with the playoffs coming up, 62-35 win. Let's go to the rest of the girls. Number 2 Manual romps over Fairdale. Freshman Jenny Benningfield added does to lead Assumption. It was Butler ruling in the Valley, and Central slays the Dragon. Holy Cross survives at Eastern, and PRP rolls at home. The Cats, Cards, and Hoosiers all return to action tomorrow. Kentucky tries to win its 2nd game of the year against Vandy, a game you will see live on Wave 3 at 3 o'clock. Things might be tough for the Big Blue. The game in Nashville and the Commodores have won 6 in a row.
I think both of us are playing much better. I think that we were a team right up to Derek Anderson injury and unsure of ourselves offensively. And they've been a team that's been steadily improving as the season has gone on.
The Louisville Cardinals need to bounce back from last night's loss at Marquette. They are in danger of losing a first-round bye in the conference postseason tournament. The Indiana Hoosiers host Northwestern tomorrow. IU, a 3-point winner when the two met earlier this year. Should I tell you it was a great basketball game at New Albany?
Oh, boy.
Jennings County leads once, but it's the final score. How many times are you going to see that?
And it comes down to, does Hunter want to stay home or leave the area and get away from the family and try to be out on his own, doesn't it?
I guess we'll find out in a while, huh?
All right, thanks, Bob.
Thank you, Bob.
Well, on your mark, get set, go.
Find out why these shoppers are going wild next when Nightcast returns.
With the all-new Dodge Dakota, we offer a choice. A torquey Magnum 4 that is not the typical wimpy whiner. A serious high-output Magnum V6. And a real live Magnum V8. The only V8 in its class. 468. Now who do you appreciate? The new Dodge Dakota. It's full of surprises.
It's time to get a jump on spring and head to Garden Ridge, because we do spring up big. 3 acres big. Garden Ridge is the home decor marketplace. We make it really easy to decorate for spring with bajillions of silk florals, candles and baskets, plus tons of housewares, silk greenery, even framed art. Hurry in for prices that can't be beat.
Save big at our spectacular spring floral sale. Silk delphiniums are half price, just $1.94.
Don't just do spring, do it up big at Garden Ridge.
If you ever take your Pontiac Sunfire driving through some famous expressionist painting, oh, it'll fit right in. Yeah, because it looks like a work of art. And the value, well, that won't make you scream.
Right now, get 3.9% APR GMAC financing for a full 60 months on Pontiac Sunfire. Drive one today at your Kentuckiana Pontiac Pack dealer.
We love our airline. It's called Southwest. And the things we do when we fly for you make us different from the rest. I get up in the morning, go to work at Southwest, the airline with the Triple Crown style. And all my coworkers are standing up and jogging on the spot. I said, what? They said, come on, we're going the extra mile. We love our airline. We'd never have guessed. We want to give a dozen roses to a 737, because we're crazy about Southwest.
Hello, I'm Jeff Weiler, speaking for Green Tree Toyota, and it's time to liquidate our entire inventory. On March 1st, every vehicle in stock is subject to an Indiana inventory tax. So that means right now is the best time for you to drive home a new or used vehicle from Green Tree Toyota. No money down, low monthly payments, the best interest rates available. You help me reduce my inventory, I'll help you save a lot of money. It's that simple. We both save from you buying a car this month at Green Tree Toyota. Highway 131, where our people make real deals.
Here come the brides, but they're not all dressed in white just yet. Filene's department store in Boston held its annual bridal dress mega sale today, and the brides-to-be and their mothers, their sisters, even their fiancés went wild. It was only a matter of seconds before the racks were cleared and hands were full of dresses, as you can see. We haven't heard yet if anyone was hurt or if any of those dresses were damaged.
Man, if they wanted to shed a few pounds before the wedding, I think they did it just right there.
That's right. There were some Olympic sprinters in there.
I haven't seen people run that fast since last summer in Atlanta there.
Boy.
Probably broke some records.
If they exhibit those shopping skills during the marriage, it might have a little trouble there. You have to tone it down just a little bit.
Are you speaking from experience?
Well, no. No. I'm the shopping abuser.
Good answer. Good answer.
And the right answer.
Quit while you're ahead, or were you ever ahead on
You'll
that?
still have a life when you return home.
Thanks. Well, have a good weekend, everybody.
Bye-bye. We'll see you back here Monday.